Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. On today's Fit Club, we talk fitness and New Year's resolutions with actor, singer, songwriter, producer Leon Thomas III. Stay tuned.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Fit Club.
Welcome back, Fit Clubbers. Man, I had to get through that open. There was so many hyphens in there. I want to thank you, Leon, for joining us today.
Man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely
really
great to have you, man. It's awesome. Gotta get into some good stuff. But again, guys, my name is Shaka Smith. I want to introduce my co-host.
What's up, guys? My name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad.
And Mr. Leon Thomas, where can they find you online?
You can find me at Leon Thomas on all social media sites. Just find the blue check.
Yeah. Nice, locked up. Locked it up.
Yeah.
How'd you get Leon Thomas? Well, you've been doing this for a long time.
I've been doing this for a long time, man. I've seen the birth of Instagram, you know, Twitter, all of it. So.
I forgot. You've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, my whole life, man.
Man, we'll get into some of that later, but I want to start off with this first topic of cleanses. This is sort of the season of cleanses. As we know, Issa Rae is doing this cleanse. She just did an interview, and I guess she does a cleanse like almost every year. And she's dropped a lot of weight and has been able to maintain it. And she likes that fresh start. She wants to look her best, feel her best, and be her best.
Exactly.
Yeah, and of course, you actually did a scene with Issa on Insecure where you had to look your best and be your best and feel your best. We actually got a clip of that right here.
Oh my!
Yeah, they went for it in this clip here.
Yeah, definitely went for it. You know, shirtless. Good old fashioned love making.
Now, how do you get ready for a scene like this? You read the script, they tell you gotta take your shirt off. You're like, okay. Like, do you get nervous? Do you say, I gotta get to the gym, I gotta tighten up my diet?
I mean, for me, a part of, you know, manifesting things in my life and just staying, you know, healthy both mentally and physically is just all based off of me doing my runs in the morning. Like, I love to do a nice 2 mile to 3 mile run every morning. You know, it starts my day off on the right foot, you know, but no pun intended. But but when I heard I was gonna be doing a love scene, I definitely kicked it up even more, and you know, hit some extra push-ups and sit-ups and all that. But you know, to be completely honest, I'm a very confident guy, and I feel like reality is the thing that we try to summon up when we're acting. So there's parts of me that are just as real as anybody else, and I gotta embrace that.
Yeah, that's a healthy attitude. I like that.
Man, that's the only attitude I can have, you know. In the social media age, people pick at everything.
Yeah, of course. And well, you're on a cleanse right now too.
Yeah, the master cleanse. So I'm on day 10 today.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing great. If you read up on it, there's, you know, both sides for everything. I've done it years ago when I was playing football, and I just needed to like reset. So for me, it wasn't like a weight loss thing. It was more of just getting the mind, body, and spirit in line, and, you know, getting things together. So I prepped myself, I think, a little bit before Thanksgiving, so I knew it was coming. I took a different approach, and I thought the first 3 days were gonna be hard. It wasn't. There's been some times where it's just like low in energy. Fortunately, with my jobs, I can take a nap in the afternoon, so I was blessed that way.
Great.
And then, you know, I also was able to see what my stressors are. So there was 2 situations that happened this past week where, you know, people were getting on my nerves. And if I wasn't doing the cleanse, my natural gravitation is to go towards some type of food. And then I realized like those were my stressors. So now it's like, okay, I acknowledge that. And for future reference, it's like, okay, this person started to piss me off. I need to make sure that I don't go this direction.
Oh, wow.
So, and then it's just, you know, there's certain giftings that I had or have that now are coming back because of that. So it's been going well. Nice. Don't recommend it for everybody. You definitely have to be in the right frame of mind to do it.
Yeah.
And it's the Beyonce, well, it's not the Beyonce one, but Beyonce did it. She did the lemonade cleanse back in the day too.
Wow.
Have you done a cleanse?
Never. I love food. You know what I'm saying? But I've definitely fasted before. For family reasons, you know, around you know, a very beloved person in my family. You know, we all just decided to fast. You know. As she was taking her departure to the next realm. But to be completely honest, man, you know, I really love food. And I noticed that, you know, my metabolism is very fast because I work out a lot and because I'm always like moving and running and just doing what I have to do. So I kind of never really went that route, you know, but who knows? Maybe I might.
You don't have to do 21 days. I mean,
21 days is pretty tough.
You're in the thick of it right now.
You don't have to do that. I mean, I remember I was in college, I used to fast every Sunday. Until sundown. So you don't have to do that, and you don't have to do a fast. It's just whatever works for you. But I find if you are eating too much, it's just what your body's manifesting. So if you're noticing that you're sluggish or you're this or you're that, then maybe you need to reset things, and maybe the fastest answer, or maybe changing your food entirely is the answer. So it just kind of depends on things.
Yeah, well, props to you on that. I've never done a fast that long.
Don't you know I'm a gangster?
Crazy.
Come on, gangster, yeah.
Our next story is I thought was interesting because there's appointments healthy people should make. I think when we're healthy, especially when we're young, we don't really think about going to the doctor. Yeah. But there's like really 5 doctors you should be going to. One is getting your annual physical, which I haven't gotten in maybe 10 years.
Wow.
The dentist twice a month. They say twice a year, every 6 months.
Yeah, I do that.
Haven't been there. Haven't been done that for a while.
Yeah.
But dermatologist, which is one I never thought of because I always think of the dermatologist as more cosmetic, but they really look at the health of your skin. And so
they're often the ones that will discover if you have like skin cancer and stuff like that. Through the moles and stuff on your face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so that to me was just like, wait a minute, I need to reinterpret the way I think of a dermatologist. And then gynecologist, of course. For the females. Though there's no urologist for males. I guess if everything's fine down there, we don't need to be checked out.
Well, you guys don't have to go until your 40s. I think the check-in is for black men is 40. So technically you're good for a while.
Just say props to women having to deal with that extra whole industry just to make sure they're good.
Extra whole industry. Well, the thing too, do you have another doctor in there?
And then of course mental health screening, which it's covered by my insurance, but I never think to ever utilize it. But I might actually, the free mental health screening, I might want to use it.
So wait, you have insurance and you haven't been to the doctor or the dentist in years?
Because it requires taking time off.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It requires taking.
You're crazy.
Yeah, it just and then the long wait and the
What dentist are you going
process.
to?
It's just the process.
I'll give you my dentist. You just walk in. You're good in less than 10 minutes.
And you know what? I never had cavities, so that's also part of it. But I've done the teeth whitening, the professional teeth whitening. I've done that.
You should still be checking. There's things that you can't see that you will just, it just becomes natural and normal for you that you had no idea about.
Well, this is why I'm now on my checklist, because I'm reading this, I'm like, I should be doing this,
yes,
all of this.
You should.
Yeah.
Mr. Fit Club? What's going on?
That's the fallacy. You feel fit, so sometimes you don't take care of your fitness. Like,
exactly.
How do you deal with it? Because you feel fit, but you're also on the road and so busy. Are you able to see these people, get consultations?
Yeah. I try to make sure I always lock into my annual just to lock that in. A lot of men in my family, they're afraid of doctors, so I'm trying to reverse that negative stereotype and just really just get in there and just not have any open questions. Just know what's going on.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it depends, because for me, that was like my childhood. Like I grew up going to every summer we went to the dentist and doctor. It was like clockwork. So then when I became an adult, it was like, okay, this is like clockwork. This is what I have to do. Yeah. This is what I do just in case. They take the blood work. They make.
My family definitely wasn't that organized.
Yeah, my mom
see,
was.
That's actually really.
My mom was
nice.
on. She's like, summertime before y'all go to, because I used to go to New York for like 6 weeks. Before y'all go to New York, we go to this doctor and we go to this dentist.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
No, so it was the opposite for me, because it was like I got my mom took me all the time, but when you get older, you're like, wait, I gotta drive myself. My mom doesn't get me McDonald's afterwards.
Come on now.
What?
Come on now.
Nobody's getting you McDonald's afterwards?
Just a whole process.
You said that with a serious face?
Come on, Fit Club.
I'm just saying the whole
Not the
process
fish fillet right after the doctor. Come on, man.
You can buy yourself some home food after you're done, right?
No, I'm just saying the process of adulting has been what has kept me, because it's so tedious. You don't realize how tedious it is when your parents are just taking you and you leave, and then you have to go the wait appointment.
You're talking about this wait. I'm gonna give you my doctor and dentist because you're not waiting.
Well, I'm working on changing my mindset to just go in.
Yeah,
and
because
get it done
I think the
and
wait is
prioritize
what's stopping you, and there's a lot of doctors and dentists that you don't have, like you don't wait.
Yeah.
Right.
So you just book an appointment and you come on time.
Come on now, you want to shout them out real quick? What shout out your doctor?
Just saying. And then you can go buy yourself some McDonald's or whatever it is that you want to eat.
I mean, that was my kid, my childhood.
Shout them out.
He's like, there's nobody to buy me stuff when I'm done going to the dentist.
Man.
Terrible.
She's fixing my life here. Our next story revolves around perfectionism and whether or not it's normal or unhealthy. And Jessica Pryor is a psychologist out of Northwestern University, and millennials are experiencing higher rates of dealing with perfectionism and higher rates of suicide and depression and anxiety as a result. And apparently there's 2 types of perfectionism. So you have one that revolves around a resilience factor. You set a high goal, you try to achieve it. Sometimes you miss the goal, but you bounce right back. So, like professional athletes, they gotta just kind of go off their back and then retool and rego. Right. And then there's the maladaptive perfectionism. And the way to identify it is if you set a high goal, but then your reaction to not reaching the goal is super extreme. And so they have a couple tips to kind of moderate this. But for you, like, I feel like perfectionism is something that probably helps you be successful. How do you make sure you get that line right?
All right, I'll be completely real. Like with my music, I'm a true perfectionist. Like I'll be in there for hours on one verse or one section just to make sure it's perfect, and I keep putting it together. But what I've learned is that there's amazing moments within the imperfections when it comes to art. Yeah. But when it comes to me as a human being, I can't please everybody. Yeah. And coming to terms with that, I think, was the biggest thing. I want to say in my early 20s was because coming from being a child actor and pleasing just about everybody in my life, my whole life. Yeah. There came a time when it wasn't as easy to do that, and coming to terms with exactly what success means to me, what happiness means to me, was the best move I ever made, because now I really don't have anything to prove to you people. You know what I'm saying? I just I'm really focused on me. I'm focused on what I have to do. Of course, like I said, I am a perfectionist in ways that sometimes hurt and help my art. Yeah. But I try to kind of stay out of that conversation when it comes to imagery and everything that has to do with who I am, because I look at it like this. Well, let's just be real about it. I really don't watch a lot of my projects. I'm just not that guy. To be sitting here, you won't come up to the crib and see one of my TV shows on and one of my movies. It's not happening. It's really not going down. I do bump my music from time to time, but not around other people. That's that's me time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's me time. But yeah, I just feel like we really need to do something about this, because I think the filters, just the ability to edit who we are as people for the public is of course helpful in certain ways, but I believe it's hurting way more than it's helping.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes I look at myself without the filter now that I didn't really care about before. I'm like, man, I look better with that filter. But seriously, I don't want to post something
when
because...
you thirst trapping?
Come on, thirst trapping.
No, but you use these filters that make you just look a little bit better than before. Right. And then you use them long enough, you get used to that image on the screen.
No, trust me, I have my exact filter that I use. I love it.
Yeah.
I just said that I don't like the picture. It's not getting posted. That's
every now and then.
But then there's also aesthetic.
Keep it
together. Got the special filter.
Yeah, you gotta keep it together. You know what I mean? Gotta keep it together on the gram.
With the whole thing with social media too, that's the reason why. It's like, especially if you don't know life without social media in your adulthood, you're always trying to you're looking at somebody else's life, not knowing that they're a mess in their own life, but they're not showing that. So people have to realize that people are all human, no matter if they're rich, poor, whatever, and they're all going through their ish. And you have to go about that and just live your own life. So that perfectionism definitely kills, but not giving an F is definitely helpful. Come on, man.
And I think you hit on some of the tips, because they say, one, recognize perfection is an illusion. Mm-hmm. So no one's gonna be perfect
except for Jesus.
Yeah, except for Jesus.
Come on, Jesus. Hello, somebody.
The reason for the season, right? Okay.
I hear you, girl. Come on, TK. You passed the TK. I love it, yo. That's wild.
And then another tip was practice not being perfect. Like, for instance, for you, where you're perfectionist in music, but now don't try to be a perfectionist at cooking. Don't set your same standard across all the things that you do, because no one can be perfect at all those different things.
Right.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you.
And they say focus on the process, not the outcome. Where you say you have those little moments that imperfection is actually really nice. Stop self-criticism. And I think a lot of times we talk to ourselves harsher than anyone else talks to ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got to break ourselves out of that and check it.
Right.
Prioritize self-care and celebrate the many accomplishments on the way.
Come on now.
Yeah, so...
Come on now, let's teach him. Let's teach him today.
Yeah, because
one bullet point at a time. You know what I'm saying? Let's really do it.
And the most important one, which I forgot, the last and most important, is if you need professional help, go seek it. So a lot of times we know something's wrong with ourselves, but we just don't. Like, I guess myself. But
you telling us something? You
find you Shaka. Let it out. Let it out, bro.
Not the mental health, but yeah.
My name is Shaka Strong, and I post too many thirst traps.
Not the following
The filter's not working right. I'm not seeing myself clearly anymore.
Hey, life is tough.
Oh my goodness.
And I call this segment "Could You Do It?" This guy came up with doing micro-resolutions instead of New Year's resolutions, which I thought was a great idea, because it's hard to commit to one thing the entire year, and it's sort of but for the brain, kind of breaking them down per month. I think was really cool. So could you do it? January, he gave up alcohol.
Oh yeah. I don't really even like drinking like that.
I think alcohol is easy.
It's cool. Yeah.
Now February, he gave up the word like, and I thought that was interesting.
I mean,
Like,
that's
how did he-
beyond
Just how you just said it.
But how did he do that? Like, did he tell 20 people that he knew to every time he said it to? Because you don't realize you're saying it until, like, I did some stuff with Toastmasters and they like were really critical.
Yeah.
So then I was able to eliminate some of those words out of my vocabulary, but that's only when, you know, somebody's actually taking the time.
Yeah, he did share it with everyone on Facebook that he knew, and he said like his people kept him accountable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and then if you remember it, then at least for a few hours of the day you remember to be mindful of it. And then March he gave up sweets. I can't do that, but
There's no such thing as candy.
Sweet
but
tooth?
okay.
Not really into baked goods like that.
Really?
Or candy. My
I felt
dad
you were a
had
kid on set.
diabetes. No,
Oh,
my dad had
gotcha.
diabetes, so it was like sugar was like the devil in my house, you know. Well, I mean, it was actually also very helpful for him too at you know, certain times. But like, I just remember having this weird like kind of stigma around sweets and candy and even juices and stuff like that. I was just like afraid of it just because of, you know.
Cause I'm gonna say as a kid on set and you got the crafty,
Oh
and
yeah,
you're growing up and it's
just
there,
know well
yeah.
that's the thing is like my whole life it was super. My mom, I like to call her, you know, a progressive hippie. You know, she's very organic. Everything's
nice.
couscous and
Nice.
free range chickens and stuff. But like once I got 16, 17, and I was on the sets. I mean, the world of food just opened
Yeah,
up
those
and
crafties.
rained down.
Yeah.
You know, and it was crazy. Like my first season of Victorious, I noticed I was like a little heavier than I had ever been before. I was like, wow. So I mean, got with a little trainer, you know, worked it all out and cured my, you know, my sweet tooth.
Cause
man.
on-
So
'cause
I
on
could
those-
do it.
On those sets for kids, they give you like the kid sweets too. They don't give
Oh,
you like
yeah,
the
yeah.
healthy adults or like
No,
pseudo
on the
healthy.
sets in general, they
Yeah.
give sweets. Doesn't matter
Yeah,
if
the
you're a kid or
coffee
adult.
truck.
Yeah.
We were sponsored
all
by
bad.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Just every fast
my
food spot from
God.
Popeyes to just all kinds of horrible foods. I mean, not even horrible, but you know what I'm saying? Just like
Yeah.
bad. They just, you know, not what you should be doing
Exactly,
on
on
a
a
fit club.
daily basis,
Come on,
too.
fit club. So, yeah, man, just had to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
Had to learn.
Well, it
Pretty
worked out.
early.
It worked out.
Yeah.
In April, he decided he'd have no screen time when his kids were around. So you kind of pick a moment and say, I will not be on the laptop or the phone or whatever screen.
Well, you know, for my imaginary children, you know, I would definitely be able to put the screen down.
Yeah, I think it's important. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I had nothing to say. I don't have kids, so that's easy for me. Yeah, that's fine. Well, you know what I was doing when I was in Miami. You know, I had a lot of work to do for the script, so I gave myself Instagram hours.
Yeah, okay.
And
good.
it was between like 10 and 12, and we had rehearsals from like 3 to whenever. So I would, you know, wake up early, work out, boom, 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 and then I would eat breakfast and I would jump in and go crazy. Just all the little memes and the little
let me
dog
check.
videos and stuff. And then I would literally delete Instagram off of my phone
Yeah.
and just hustle on the script, you know. It was 80 pages, 5 monologues, a couple songs that I was accompanying myself for. So I had a lot of work, man. I mean, those pages were tough.
And
I was-
you're playing Sam Cooke.
yeah,
Wow.
and I was debating Malcolm X the entire play.
Wow.
So it's not like I'm just Sam Cooke and it's like blah blah blah, blah Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
I'm literally arguing one of the greatest orators of all time on stage, live in action for people to watch me either sink
That's
or
amazing.
swim. So you know, I had to really go in, and I feel like that phone down thing, could
It's
definitely
helpful.
go down.
Yeah, and it actually probably makes Instagram more exciting because you know you have that limited time to go in and really
Man, I knew what I was gonna post that day, and I knew who I wanted to check in
Yeah,
on or whatever.
efficient,
You know, it's vibe out.
whose DMs you're going into.
Come on now.
Same
Hello,
with
Ian.
like a lot of the oh my gosh, like business owners and stuff like that. They said like they'll just do their emails within a certain time.
Yeah.
And I found I was doing the same thing with Instagram and social media. In the mornings I would give 20 minutes to each.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then like the rest of the time like I'm doing other things. So it's like because you can go like I don't take my phone to the bathroom anymore. Like I'd find like okay I'm getting ready to take a shower and next thing you know I'm like 15 minutes on the phone in the bathroom while the water's running and I'm just
Yeah.
like
Come
I
on
can't
now.
do you know you
'Cause now
notice
it-
all these little patterns.
Because people, I think we shifted. Cause back in the day, people didn't expect you to be accessible at all hours. So I remember when phones came out, and my employers, they were old, so they didn't really know anything about phones and emails. So I'd be able to email them back at like 7 at night. They were like, "Oh, this kid is working. He's killing it. But like 2-3 years later, now they expect you to respond at 7 at night.
Yeah.
And that's when we had to go, okay, self-care time.
Yeah.
We got to cut it off.
Right.
June, he gave up grumpiness. Oh, May he went on a cleanse. May he did a
I don't know if I
fast.
can give
Yeah.
up grumpiness, man. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, well,
I'm not a morning person, so yeah, I
So
don't
what
know.
time do you go and run?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm up in the morning and I don't want to do this. You know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying? So like people
Like-
people are around me and I'm just like,
You're
you
not
know what
that-
I mean?
you're not that
Give me my
happy
coffee.
runner.
Like it's
Okay.
horrible. Like it's not a good time.
Okay.
Yeah. So probably like 9. You know,
Well, you know what he did? What he did
if
was
I'm not in the studio super late.
on his phone, he set up 3 alarms throughout the day.
Wow.
Each alarm reminded him, and it came up with like why he should be grateful, why whatever he thought was bad isn't that bad.
This man is
And so-
organized.
And so you
Wow.
get 3 alarms, 3 reminders that like whatever you're pissed off about can't really be that bad.
That's
Right,
very
right,
true.
right, right.
So I thought that was a good way to like make it consistent throughout that month.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
You know, I could do that.
yeah, I can give myself some reminders.
Well, I think I saw this on I can't remember the show. It was that football show on HBO where they follow the football teams, and this guy was the football player was talking about like giving your why, and he's like write it down and put it by like your bed or whatever because they were in training camp.
Yeah.
So I actually implemented that and I put my why and I had reasons why and I actually put it on my ceiling. So when I wake up, because I look at that, and then I added to that and started doing. Being grateful.
Yeah.
And when I started doing being grateful and then also praying for the people that I want to see doing great around me.
Come on, you passed the
that's-
TK.
Yeah,
Give it
you
to
were
us,
like,
give it to us.
I'm
You know what
like,
I mean?
is this
Give
the
it to
Greenleaf
us.
after show?
No, but I thought it's really helpful because
Yeah.
it puts you in a better perspective
No,
because then
of
you
course.
realize like, okay, every morning the first thing I say is like I'm awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't open your eyes one day and you not where you supposed to be.
True.
Right?
Yeah,
So it's just
right.
kind of like one of those things like, okay, I'm awake. All right, my limbs are working. All right, I'm seeing like all that stuff, reminding myself every morning puts me in such a better mood. So then when I'm dealing with people, I'm like, I'm just going to give you a story because obviously it's not me.
Yeah.
And if it is me, let me know what I did from jump.
Come
so I
on
find
now.
that kind of
Yeah.
gets me like in the mood for the rest of the day.
I saw this thing online, right? So every morning when you wake up, if you wake up and go, yes, like this, hands up in the air, it's
Yeah.
scientifically proven that you're gonna have a great day.
Ooh.
Based
Yeah,
off
that's a little bit too much.
Wait.
I just, you know.
Is it but it's
It
No, of
might,
being
course.
yeah.
excited to be alive.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the whole this life hack of it
Yeah.
all. It's like being excited and grateful enough to say, yes, I made it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
like yeah.
You hear
you know?
again. Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah,
flood
here
your brain
again.
with all that good
I
positive.
tried it.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Yeah.
Tried this for 2 weeks. It actually worked.
But I thought you said you wasn't a
Wait.
morning person. I'm confused now.
But he got better. Wait, why did you stop? That's the question.
I mean, it's just like I'm off. Like I don't have anything to do. I don't have anybody to like.
So you
No,
sleeping
no.
in? You
That
sleeping
doesn't mean I don't get grumpy. That means that the rest of my day is gonna be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
than otherwise would have been. Yeah.
so wait, I'm trying to figure this out.
Groggy,
so you say
groggy,
yes.
groggy, grumpy is
Yeah.
kind of like I'm using that.
Oh,
as
so
a-
you're not okay. So you're just groggy, like you're slow to start your day.
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
not grumpy or angry at anybody.
I'm not screaming people out.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Is that
okay.
what y'all thought?
That's
I'm sorry.
when you said grumpy. I was just
I'm
like,
glad we
you
passed
hate the
back
day.
over
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
We gotta brush that off.
Okay,
yeah,
alright.
yeah. But yeah, definitely like just it was really crazy. I saw this YouTube video and I was like, I can't be real. I really did it, and it definitely gave me a better
course.
outlook
Excitement.
for the rest
And
of my
you're
day.
probably just ready to even more ready to talk to people. Because the thing is, like, I'm not
Yeah.
grumpy in the mornings, but like I'm silent. I just need to be like
Silence.
in this.
Yeah.
But if someone were to talk to me, it might annoy me. But maybe if I do my
Right.
yes, it might get me
yeah.
all amped up. Other things he gave up: Facebook, TV.
Facebook, wow, cool.
Facebook and TV. TV for a month, that would be tough for me.
I could do TV.
I could do TV. I could do TV easily if I wasn't doing this.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like if you have like Hulu and Netflix, actually particularly Hulu, it'll actually total. I think if you also have Apple TV, it'll total the amount of TV that you watch.
Oh,
per
don't
week.
shame me. Oh, no.
It just popped up on my screen. and I was just
no.
like, okay, but half the 80% of the stuff that I was watching was for work.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of one of those things where if you see how much TV you're watching compared to what you're doing with your life and what you want to do and what your hopes and goals were, 10 years ago, it's just kind of like if you look at that. And
Yeah.
you watching, enough TV for a part-time job,
What are you
doing?
See, I'm usually on my laptop, my phone, and I got the TV going.
Kind of works for me. It's homework. You know what I mean? It's like studying the marketplace and even just like projecting myself. I remember watching Insecure before I was on it and being like, I want to be on that show.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like
having
knowing,
that-
like just seeing that screen and saying I'm gonna be in there, and it worked.
There you are, half
Yeah.
naked Issa Rae.
Come on now, you know.
In September, he gave up stuff that did not spark joy, and I think it was Maria Kondo has a book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I think we had Nikki Lima in, and she was the one that said, you know, get rid of the stuff in your life that don't bring you joy, because that clutter is just not good for you.
Yeah.
Or is that something you try to do, or how do you clean your space?
I cut people off all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You can get cut. You know what I mean? On the bench. Nah, I just feel like if you're not bringing joy, positivity, and financial gain and spiritual awareness into my life, what are we doing?
Well, this
what
was
are we doing? I don't even.
Wait, this was for things, but I think I like the extension of
for
doing this to
things?
people.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
this
I'm
was like,
sorry.
if
Yeah, things that don't bring me joy.
But it makes
either.
more
Yeah.
sense. So
Cut
when you
that
talk
off.
about
So people are watching you like, oh, that's why you got tired of me.
I don't bring him joy.
I mean, it's like it's feng shui. Like
Yeah.
you know, you have things in its place. Like I do that every so often because you know life gets hectic.
Yeah.
But like today, I washed all my sheets in the house.
Come on,
Like
oh, nice.
you just want that sense of tidiness, because when everything's organized, then you can think clearer.
Your brain's
Wow.
moving more
So
focused.
it just it makes sense.
I think I'm gonna do both cleanses though for next year, where I
cut
do
people off?
people off and things. If you don't bring me joy, you're out of my life.
What's like really crazy about it though is like I'm writing my next album right now, and I read this book called The Mastery by Robert Greene, and he really pretty much just went into the great minds of Einstein and Nikola Tesla and like all these really great scientists and even musicians like John Coltrane, and it kind of brought you into their creative process and how they became masters at what they do. And reading over that book, there was one chapter that really, really, really stuck with me, and it was about sometimes embracing a little bit of the clutter as a creative. It's kind of getting frustrated and understanding that like some of the smartest people have the messiest desks on
True,
earth,
right?
you know. And for what I do sometimes, it like my studio right now is a hot mess because I've been working, chopping samples and writing songs and preparing for January when I'm gonna be recording most of my next album. I don't know, I just learned to like enjoy the journey a little bit though. Enjoy that journey of like knowing that I really have barely had any time to like be a full-time maid, but like I'm still like making it work. Like,
Well, you're doing good because you're not letting that perfectionism creep into areas where it's just not gonna happen.
Right.
it's just not
like-
while I'm in this zone,
Yeah.
while I'm in full-blown creative throwing paint on the wall zone.
Yeah.
I kind of gotta let that just sit
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but
just
being
catch a
creative
vibe.
too, if it's not stopping your creativity,
Then,
then you keep it as is.
Of
But if
course,
it's stopping
yeah.
creativity,
If it's starting to get like too,
Yeah.
I mean, I never let it get crazy, or anything, but like I just know like where my mind goes sometimes in that creative space, and it's kind of helpful. I don't know, it's weird.
That's awesome, man. And then he actually rounded off the year with disposable plastic, just using less of it, which he found was easier once he was mindful of it.
right?
Eating after dinner, which for me I kind of
Eating
do.
after dinner?
He's found that he was having so much food after dinner that he was kind of classifying as dessert, but it was
Oh,
really like he
gotcha.
just kept eating.
Oh, okay.
So trying to be mindful about that. And then just watching for his self-care and mental health as well.
I feel that.
So I think I'm going to start doing micro-resolutions next year.
I don't know. Well, I mean, those sound great, but then it's like those all are beneficial to his life. So then when he stopped the screen time, did he continue it throughout the year, or did he stop it? Like that's
From what I gathered, it did kind of continue throughout the year because he found he got so much closer with his kids, so much so that he ended up writing an article about it, and he was
so he
featured
just
in like.
he just layered his resolutions then pretty much.
No, I think the ones that like stuck, that were meaningful, stuck.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
dope.
so I think
That's
I'm gonna
great.
give that a try. It breaks up the year a little bit better, and next year he said he's gonna try to do something where he adds something rather than abstain. Whether it's more meditation, more yoga, more gratitude, he's gonna add something every month.
Man. I just really want to be as organized as you people, for real. Like, cause y'all are really on, y'all are lit. I mean, I've always hated resolutions. It's just like, this is one of those things for me, because I just always felt like tomorrow isn't promised.
Right.
Like, why not start today? Why not start? Like every day is January 1st in my mind.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
All
like,
right,
that's just kind of where I'm at.
I like that.
I know that's kind of wild, but it's just, I don't know. It's just people crowding up the gym. You know,
That
it's
is
just
my
making
problem
things
too.
like
Yeah.
just like stay in your lane, play. You know what I mean? Or make it your lane. You know what I mean? Like make it your lane and let's just make it happen.
Yeah, I find I'm actually more excited for the year because I started a lot of the things that I've been wanting to do or talking about doing or kind of doing for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like I started a lot of practices within the last 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like you're gonna wait till the first to do all this stuff.
Right.
It's like I'm coming into 2019 with most of the stuff done.
Trying to be fully prepared.
So now
yeah,
now you're just rolling. So I say that thing too to everybody too. It's like, oh, why are you waiting till January 1st to go to the gym? Like I'm whenever you want to come, I'm there.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where you can't wait till January 1st and you can't get nothing done. Like you're just gonna delaying it.
Right.
And writing your album now, are you able to make time for fitness? Is fitness feeding your creativity?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like it was 2 months of 2 workouts a day. You know, I had a meal plan lady. You know, so she was chefing me up nice paleo meals for like 2 weeks, and then she went crazy and just really started getting organic and just tasty with the foods. And then I came back and I was like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Just good to go. I've been out of control, Shaka. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know,
Intervention.
A little intervention right here. You know, I've been out of control since I came back. It was Thanksgiving. My mom was throwing down. You know, that was a good time. And I have my kitchen back, so now I'm cooking all types of little goodies for myself. It's out of control. So I'm excited. You know, I just found a really nice gym by my crib, so I'm excited to get back into my 2-a-days. And
Yeah, how do you check back in when you do have these moments where you do need to take a break? How do you check back in?
Life will check me back in. Life will check you back in. Like, excuse you.
Look at that mirror. Like,
Excuse
wait,
you?
that's me?
Excuse you. What's going on, man? I mean, there's that, and then there's also just, I'm a really determined guy, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm not letting anything as you know, minute as just fitness like stop my journey. Like, I wish I would let, you know, the fact that I didn't want to work out stop me from the role that I wanted as a superhero or whatever, you know. So you know, just knowing that I have dreams and goals that'll get me up at 7, grumpy as ever, you know, even with the like
to some tears.
to run, to run after you know, 2 o'clock studio session, you know, but I know what I'm searching for isn't necessarily perfection, but it's my best.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm doing my best,
then
I can't do anything after that, y'all. I'm sorry. That was my best. I pushed it to the limit, and you didn't like it. I'm sorry.
So,
I mean,
so no pressure to outdo yourself, because I learned things about you just preparing for the interview. I didn't know you'd written the 4 songs with Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
won the Grammy.
Yeah,
21 years old. Like, and how did you deal with the pressure of winning a Grammy at 21 and going, wait, what do I do next?
It was exactly that. Like, I mean, I was making biscuits when I won that Grammy. I was literally like not like there. Didn't even think we were gonna win. You know?
I thought it was slang. I was like, what? I thought you were using some slang. I was like, making
was
biscuits.
literally making biscuits and, you know, some spaghetti and whatever else at the crib, a little struggle meal, and then
Wait,
you know,
and spaghetti?
oh listen,
Okay, all right, continue.
Stop. It was out of control. It was so good.
Leon's Kitchen on YouTube.
I know.
Yo, you come through, you might get surprised. I've actually made many a girl smile on my meals. You know?
Bring joy.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was definitely one of those like what now moments. Not like I did everything what now, but more so. So now what happens? Do I get to work with better artists? Do I? What am I doing?
So it was motivation.
It was motivation, but to be completely honest, you know, it just really put, you know, a fire under, you know, I can't curse, right? But you know, fire under my ass to really like hustle and to outdo myself. Now I won a Grammy for my artist stuff, and I won an EGOT by the end of my life. You know,
Nice.
Had the Emmy,
Got the Whoopi, got the
Tony,
Emmy,
the Oscar. You know, like and with the career path that I've chosen, and with the people and the relationships and the projects I've been a part of so far, it's becoming more and more so like an attainable dream.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I'm just gonna have to continue to hustle. So I mean, got the Grammy in my pocket now. You know, so now it's time to get that Emmy, and it's time to get that #1 album for you know, my own music.
Yeah. Nice. And of course, I gotta ask the classic question for the triple, quadruple threats like you. What do you prefer? Is the acting or the music?
It's really more so about it's I like to explain it almost as like having twins. I don't know if you have any twins, but you know, it's I do have twins. You know, I have my acting career and I have my music career.
I just thought you said he had no kids.
I have my acting career and my music career, and I
Okay.
treat them with so much love and respect, but I love them both for different reasons.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that there's no way on earth that I can stop loving one.
Yeah.
I have to do both.
Yeah.
And when people tell me make a choice, I say why?
Yeah.
Why? You know, like there's just no reason to. And you know, my generation is kind of just the generation to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And that's just kind of how I move. You know, I really genuinely attack both career paths with all the power I can.
Yeah, that's amazing. We see it for ourselves on screen, on stage,
Man,
on the radio. We got our little segment called Fit Club 5, which is sort of 5 rapid fire questions, just to get to know you better. Miss Trinidad, why don't you cue it on up?
All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
Last person you text.
Last person I text, my mom. Lies, all right.
Dream dinner guest.
Dream dinner guest, Obama. What?
Yeah.
Let's chop it up, Obeezy. Like, what's going on?
Favorite junk food.
Favorite junk food.
Biscuits and spaghetti.
No, you know,
That's the
I
healthy
mean,
meal.
honestly, I got another one for you guys. I mean, this is a corner store Brooklyn special, a little honey bun, right? Come on, this is my inner fat boy on Fit Club, and barbecue chicken. No, the barbecue chips. The barbecue chips
Oh
and honey
my
bun.
God.
It's so good. It's so good.
For a hot time, I was like barbecue chicken, honey bun, maybe barbecue chips and honey bun.
It's just bodega, just a bodega good time.
Man,
Ooh,
that's
okay.
a junk food. That's a tough one.
She's real judgmental over here, but hasn't tried it and might actually enjoy
I will
it.
never will.
No,
Never
you're
will.
right.
If you were on death row, what would be your last meal?
If I was on death
Honey
row,
bun and
what
chips.
would be? Yeah, honey bun and chips for sure. Nah, if I was on death row, my last meal, there's a spot called Off Vine, and they have a really good short rib with the it's like mashed potatoes, but sometimes they do a cauliflower thing
yeah,
under it. You know what I'm
cauliflower
saying?
mash, yeah.
Cauliflower mash.
Yeah.
Love that with the carrots. Yeah, good to go.
I wonder if you can specify like that on death row. Can you maybe you can't get it from the place, but can you really tell them how to make it?
I think it
Come
depends
on
on
now.
the state that you're in. Like if you're in Mississippi, they're gonna look at you like you're
Listen,
crazy.
guys, I don't want to know about this. That's not for me. It's the things not to think about.
If you can
Like,
listen to one album for the rest of your life, what album would it
Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder.
Oh wow,
Ooh.
nice.
There you go.
be? There you go.
Well, it's right there.
Well, we got to thank you for joining us. This was awesome, man.
it was fun,
Yeah,
man.
this is
Thanks for
dope.
having me, for
Yeah,
real.
absolutely. Again, guys, my name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Last show for 2018, right?
Yeah, last show she said, right? There's this.
See you
Best
guys.
class, baby. Yeah.
See you guys in the new year. My name is TK Trinidad. You can see me on everything at TK Trinidad. You can also catch me on VH1 and Hip Hop DX. I did a really great thing for did the breakdown of Drake and Kanye's relationship. Really interesting. So check that out on Hip Hop DX.
It took some time.
And where can they get
I see
Genesis
it.
too?
Oh, you can get Genesis on all platforms. So yeah, Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, Tidal, all of the above. You can check me out. And yeah, just put out a new music video. It's called Pretty Little Weapon. You should check it out.
Nice. We'll see you guys in the new year.
Ciao.
Peace.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
Yeah.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.